I was just sharing, no, with the Miriam here, no, that which is better, to live as a person and behave spiritually, compassion, love, and things like this, or to live as the being, as the soul, beyond personhood, and behave like a person. Which one is better? Because in the practical life, it is required to behave as a person. No, it is not really that we can be so cynical about these things and so much restricted about this thing. Unless somebody want to live like a sadhu, no. Some people may like to live like a sadhu, no. Then they can behave like spiritually also, no. I mean, what I mean. And I noticed that when I live as a person and behave spiritually, my spiritual behaviors are polluted by my personhood, no. But when I live as a being, as the soul, my personal expressions are blessed by my light of being, actually, by joy of my being. Because somehow it is impossible for me to see anybody as a person now. I see the practicality of life, but I don't see a person who is a threat for me, Do you see my point? This is simple truth that we can very naturally discover if we focus ourselves in the right direction. No? Mostly we are working a lot on the behavior and things like this. No? Which is fine for most of the people who want to live as a spiritual person. No? But it is not fine for those who want to discover themselves beyond the person. No? Like this. Just sharing. Sorry, because there was something happening already. We were talking, no, here. So it was in continuation with that. Very, very nice, beloveds, to see you all. I will let us start, no? Then we see what happens today, no? Namaste, everyone. What is freedom, no? In a simplified way, I just share again. It is to be without being affected by the flow of life, by the flow of energies inside us, whether they are thought or feeling or anything, not moving not moving because of anything that moves inside us, no? Just being without moving, no? Unaffected. That is freedom, no? What is bondage? Bondage is not to flow with what flows inside us. It is a necessity sometime. In the moment, we have to do some work or like this. Bondage is never to flow with the thoughts or the feelings or anything. It is the compulsion to flow with the thoughts or feeling. Compulsion. Compulsive flow with the thoughts and feelings, that is bondage. No? That right now you have come to satsang, meaning you have come to your own decision, to a meeting, that I just want to be peaceful, to discover myself or to be myself. And you are still flowing with the thoughts, with the feelings, no? With anything that is happening inside you. This is bondage. And mostly we feel that because the thoughts are very strong today, that's why I'm flowing. It's not really. Thoughts are thoughts. Feelings are feelings. Body is body. And you are you. All the other things know what they are, in a way, or living their nature. Just you are not living your nature. Your nature is freedom. But to achieve it, some effort is necessary sometime. So this is freedom, to just sit and not flow with anything that flows inside you. You refuse to flow. You choose to not flow. When you can choose to flow and not flow, you are free, no? This is freedom. No? And if you cannot choose to not flow with the thoughts, you are bound to the thoughts. Doesn't matter how expert you are of the thoughts. That is a separate expertise area, no? But here, you are not counted as free, no? When you have decided to not do anything. What does it mean that I decided to do nothing right now? I just am here. It means that no thoughts are able to pull you into thoughts, meaning you are not thinking anything. That's what it means to not think anything. No? It doesn't mean that thoughts are not there. It is like thoughts are like birds are flowing. It's like traffic on the road. You are just not paying attention to that anymore. That's what is not flowing with the thoughts. No? Thoughts are like traffic on the road, maybe. Feelings same. You have decided to not flow with them. And if any one of you is right now listening to me, you will notice that, hey, I'm still flowing with the thoughts. And you will also notice why. Slowly you will get to the very core of it. Why I'm continuously flowing with the thoughts. So far, one of the very legitimate fundamental reasons we have found for this is that because you are living as an idea, your own idea. You have an idea about yourself and you are living as that right now. You are not living as yourself who has idea. No? Because of that. So this is the power of discovering yourself beyond the idea of yourself, that you become free from the unreal but experientially very strong bondage with the thoughts and feelings. It's an unreal bondage. The being is never bound, but being is asleep. Being is unaware of its nature, that I am free. Where to start? Trying to stop the thoughts? Trying to freeze the feelings? Does it really help? In the fundamental way, it doesn't really. I found what happens is questioning. If you have urgency, then questioning who I am right now. Genuinely questioning, not a self-inquiry practice. No, not a self. There is no such thing as self-inquiry practice. Self-inquiry is never a practice. Never. It's a question on your existence. You are questioning your existence. How it can be a practice? Because there is no time gap here between the decision and the act that follows. No. Or some other ways like this. So I just felt like warming up a little bit here. Anybody want to talk to me in this kind of fundamental discovery, you are welcome. Zoe, you can talk.
Namaste, Vajiji.
Namaste.
I feel something is burning inside so much.
Something is burning?
Yeah, especially when you just said, "Who am I?"
So tell me, who are you?
I'm also waiting.
You are also waiting. You are waiting for what?
Following what exactly? Who am I?
What do you mean by exactly? Because there seems to be a misunderstanding here. Like your question is polluted somehow. There is an impurity mixed with the question. And let me help you separate that from the question. Because the question is genuine, but maybe something is mixed with it, kind of sense of knowledge, and not noticed like a blind spot. What do you mean by I want to know exactly who I am? What do you mean by exactly? This is where the blind spot is.
Because I also don't have any idea.
Idea about yourself.
I know myself is here.
Can I say something here?
Yeah.
See, do you want to know yourself exactly who you are, or you want to know yourself truly who you are? Truly and or exactly. Choose one of them right now and it will make a lot of a difference.
Truly.
Okay. If truly, then you must be already knowing right now something about yourself, no? So that is you are knowing truly already, no? So what are you knowing about yourself right now?
Even I don't know that I'm also truly know myself.
But that is good, no? Like how you would know that now you are knowing yourself truly and exactly. How would you know that? Do you see my point? You can truly start knowing yourself. That is that that don't give any gap between your desire to know yourself and your acting on it. When you are acting on your desire to know yourself, don't give any gap between the two for any doing. Let your desire to know yourself be your doing right now. No. So there is no gap now. It's just you who want to know yourself. Now, if there is no gap, there is no knowledge. If there is no knowledge, how you will know when you are truly knowing or not knowing? No. So you can put aside that also now. There is no need to entertain that whether I am truly knowing or fully knowing or partly knowing. Know as much as you can know right now yourself. This is where you are really deciding to know and you are acting up on that decision right now. Not that you are waiting for any conditions to be fulfilled. So don't wait for any conditions to be fulfilled. Otherwise you will keep waiting. And that those conditions will never meet. Anybody who meets themselves, they meet beyond conditions by transcending or rejecting any conditions. No? So I would say don't entertain any conditions. Know yourself as much as you are knowing yourself right now. Is there anything between you and knowing yourself right now? As much as you are knowing. So no standards given to you that are you knowing yourself as the soul or anything. So no spiritual concepts. No a certain way of looking. You know. So are you knowing yourself now like this? Or not?
Now, as you say, without all this conditioning, then I feel light and joy. Just like, okay, leave it. Just be here.
This be here actually, Zoe, is being yourself, living yourself, and knowing yourself also. If you touch anything else, you are going out of yourself now. So there is no need to touch anything. Meaning you will be able to touch sometime and then notice, oh, I am touching something. Meaning I am kind of going out of myself. You cannot know yourself without being into yourself. Without living yourself, you cannot know yourself. This is a big deception we have on the path of spiritual awakening. That first I have to know myself, then I will be myself. No, it is the opposite. First be yourself, then know yourself. So this joyfully being yourself, here is being yourself. Enjoy yourself. This is a path of awakening, is a path of joy really. You know, the joy begins first. You know? Enjoy like this. And now at any point of time, when you feel like, yeah, I'm very much enjoying myself, but self-knowledge is not happening. Check from where it is coming. Is it coming from the being that you are? Or is it coming from outside? Mostly it is coming from outside. When anything comes from the being, it comes from in the form of a wonder. And it is answered immediately also. Or not answered sometime, but the joy remains. Undividedness of the being remains continuously. You know? Just don't go out of fear. You don't need anything else. What do you feel? Is kind of nice or not nice?
Very nice.
Yeah. So Joy, it is not really that everybody's journey towards themselves will be of the same length. It will not be. It depends how far we have gone out of ourselves. Based on that, the journey will be like this, no? I don't mean that we really have to do the same journey as much as we have gone out of ourselves physically like this. But what I mean is that the more we believe in the mind knowledge, the more work we have to do to be free from it. That's what I mean. Those who have not learnt so much spiritual concepts or spiritual, adopted, those who have not adopted so much spiritual conditioning and yet they have desire to wake up, they will not have to cut off so many things. They don't need to put aside so many things, like you. You already feel joyful anyway, So just this feeling joyful, dive into it consciously, right here, right now. Nice. Just this. And light grows here by itself. This is your natural undivided state of being. There are no ideas here. There is no knowledge also here. That type of knowledge which we are used to. No? There is a different kind of knowledge here. The knowledge is called here knowing. Like a fresh knowing. Every time it will be a fresh knowing for you. And the only difficulty some of you may have is that I'm not able to conclude, I'm not able to catch, I'm not able to say that, okay, I have this knowledge now. Only when you come here, only when you live yourself, then only you will be again knowing and smiling like, oh wow. So is it like lifelong thing to do? Actually not. It is only needed as long as you are living in a confusion about yourself. Because you think that I am a somebody other than this being that I am. When that deception is dissolved by living yourself, no work to be done. Wherever you go, you find yourself to be what you are. And the joy also. No? So please understand these things in the purity. I am sharing with you in the purity. Because you don't have the, you are not limiting me by spiritual concepts or spiritual knowledge. So I can be very direct with you, very simple with you, you know. But this is the purest form of sharing this, pointing to the truth. No? If you are not in your mind, I also don't need to speak to you from those concepts. No? We can directly talk like this, being to being, heart to heart. It is like this. The more authentic you are with me, the less concepts we need to point to the truth and live the truth. No? Authentic means you have put aside everything which is like half cooked, not sure, almost sure, but still not 100%. You have put aside everything. That everything is called, the collection of that everything is called mind. Half cooked, 50%, 78.9%. You know. But never 100%. There is nothing which is 100%. You can say 100% authority with 100% authority that yes, I am certain about it. You know. So that when you are ready to put aside, I don't need to use almost any concepts. Our existence and talking and pointing like this is living the truth. No, like this. It's so simple. Wonderful. God bless you. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Then Rajiv, R-H-A-E-E-V, Rajiv is saying, Rajiji, when I ask myself the question, who am I? Then my mind becomes blank, spacious, peaceful and empty. So that's fine. So what is your question? Or you are just sharing it? Like what am I supposed to do with this sharing? Please tell me. You are saying just sharing, Rajiv. Ah, okay. Fine. Enjoy yourself. But I still feel like sharing little bit, Rajiv, to you that if you pay attention to your blank mind, which has become spacious and peaceful and empty, you are drifting away from self-inquiry. Because self-inquiry must continue until there is any sense of doer left inside us, which includes the sense of seer also, which is the seer of the blank and empty and spacious and peaceful mind. So it doesn't matter what is your mind, how is your mind. What matters is that who am I? It's a very simple process, and mostly we are not able to follow it because of something. Find out why you drift away from this inquiry. No? Because value is given more to the empty mind. Probably that was the desire of the being, that if my mind is empty and spacious, then I will be happy. But my friend, please remember, your mind will not remain peaceful and empty unless you know yourself. That's the problem here. So just wanted to give you a side note, because you have not asked anything. Anna, you can talk. And I am. No?
Hello, Raji.
Hello, Anna.
There is nothing to say. I just wanted to see if we can maybe support this phase I'm in. Whatever you feel like sharing. Thank you.
It's really like this, that you have decided to just be peaceful, let's say, for no other reason. Like you don't know really that whether you will know yourself or anything like this, but you clearly feel that I want to be peaceful now, really, and for a long time, or maybe forever. Best is forever. And yet, kind of being peaceful is like this, that you were living like this, and tired. Now you want to be peaceful, like let go, meaning just be here, not sleeping. So you are not sleeping, you are still in the day, but enough tired. You want to go like this. Okay. Seeing everything, experiencing everything, but not actively participating in anything. So it is the being who has decided like this to rest, which is what I sense in you. Now what will happen is, out of habit, there will be some things where you will feel you have to move, and you will be like, and then remember, no, I decided to not do anything. And then, oh, I decided to do nothing. And then again. And just be vigilant. So, relaxed and vigilant. Remain vigilant, not for joy, not for peace. You have eternity to discover what is peace really. You have eternity with you to really find out who you are. But to be vigilant about this impulses. These impulses are like your unconscious attachments with the flow that happens inside in the form of thoughts, feelings, and many things really. We don't need to define them really so much. Just vigilant, peaceful, relaxed, and vigilant about only one thing, that I have decided to be peaceful. I'm not going to be like this now. Or when I do, immediately that very moment let go. Now don't start working why I moved, what to do now. You will continue moving then again back to the same thing. Back to the doership, no? Leave that very moment. Nice. Like this. What is going to happen here is that you will kind of come back together yourself. You will be happy, joyful, peaceful, and strong also, naturally. There will be a time here when you will feel that I now need to only move when I want to. And also, in that comes a freedom that whenever I want to move, or also whenever I want, I can leave it. Whenever I want. So now I'm free to move and let go of my movement. Like this you will feel also. And if you continue in the same direction again, more further, the last second step, let's say deeper step, is where you somehow feel that even when I move, I don't really move. I continue resting actually. I really continue resting consciously. I am conscious. Conscious means I am being. Being is conscious. Being means conscious really. So I'm conscious, I'm resting. And I'm enjoying. A portion of me kind of flows with the activity. And when the portion of you only flows with the activity, the flow is very appropriate also somehow. Like you will leave it when necessary. Like arguing with somebody and seeing that, kind of, we are not going anywhere. You will leave it. Like your energies become wise, your flow becomes wise even, while you are just resting. Most of you is resting. So this is the whole story I told you in a very simplified way of waking up to who you are, staying as yourself, living as yourself, and then living from yourself also. The whole story, living from yourself also. The life, day-to-day life. No? There is no power in this world which can move you really once you have decided. But you can decide to move, meaning you can decide to respond to life when somebody comes, something comes. But you don't need to, whole of you don't need to move really, and you will know this naturally. Like most of myself can continue resting, not sleeping, just not active. So staying as yourself is a little bit like this, that you are as conscious or more conscious than you are when you are moving, but you are just not moving now. Conscious but not moving. You know, like this. You cannot imagine also how much you can live here without moving. You cannot imagine how much you can live without moving, because whole life is open for you now. The boundaries of life are not really there to be lived by everyone equally. They are actually believed in at the individual level and projected on life and lived accordingly after that. So I am actually free to not believe that we are two here right now. I am actually free. I don't need your permission for that. You know what I mean? Like I can refuse to take you as a separate individual self from me. Refuse not like by activity but by experience. So just felt like sharing. I hope this will it is received in your being, in your heart in some way, without understanding so much, and it will show you something maybe when needed also. No? Thank you. Anything you say if you want?
My mouse broke.
Oh,
Thank you. Just thank you.
how
Thank you
wonderful.
for it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very, very nice to
Thank
meet
you for walking with me.
you. Thank you. Okay, anybody else can talk to me also? Mila, you can talk?
Namaste, Raji.
Namaste, Mila. I'm just locating you in this list.
I'm here.
Yeah, now I catch you. Because I pin you up, no, so that I can continuously see you here like this.
I don't have actually any question. I don't know what to ask you, or I don't know what to talk to you. But
How surprising. As a matter of fact, same here. When we enter into the spiritual path, for quite some time we get into that kind of mode where our sense of doership becomes even stronger and our doings become even more. No? That we get into that, we have to do all the time. Ask a question, look into this, do that, see, we get into that, and which is all necessary, I guess. Not really to see something truly, but to just get tired. No? So that we can sit and enjoy ourselves and discover ourselves like this. As I was speaking to Joe, just sit back, enjoy yourself and discover yourself like this, naturally. Knowing of yourself happens naturally, effortlessly. No? For those who have decided to just sit back and do nothing. No? Nobody can predict or project their ideas on how I will know myself and so on. Self is beyond all the ideas. You are the self beyond all the ideas. Let go of the ideas, you are home. Let go of the ideas and you are back home. Stop giving value to the ideas and you are home. No? What do you feel?
yes,
Still, ideas are necessary for practical life. No, everywhere. But Do you need any ideas to be yourself? So, to be yourself, the only thing that need to be removed from you is the idea that you need to do something to be yourself. That's the only idea you have to be free from, to be yourself. Because that idea keeps you divided and also it kind of keeps you in the doing mode. No? And also, we are so much in that doing mode sometimes that we are not ready to appreciate the simplicity of our existence if it is achieved without any bloodshed. No? Like right now, you are. It is just that now you will have appreciation for it. Otherwise, probably you would also not accept it that, okay, so yeah, that's kind of normal to feel like this. Like, if Prajot does not mind, I would like to say that we were talking in Rishikesh one time, and we were in this guest house, and Prajot said that I want to know what is truth. And it happened that I pointed him to the truth, and he could see that. He could experience the truth, the real self that he is. No? But he said that's kind of something very normal. I kind of experience it every day. I said, yeah, you do. And he enjoyed, and like this, it remained for 24 hours or like this. But then it gone. Appreciation. So the journey, spiritual journey, is nothing but creating appreciation for yourself. No? A strange thing, but what to do? It's the fact of life. Creating appreciation for this effortless existence that you are. I feel it is worth, still the journey is worth, I would say. Not necessary, but in a way necessary. No? But please don't be deluded that a spiritual journey can give you anything more than what you already have. No? Maybe it gives you really something. It gives you eyes. It gives you value for yourself. For what you are already. No? In India, we say like this, that you can eat anywhere outside. I think I'm talking about North India, I guess. That you can, or maybe let's say in general India, that you can eat anywhere in the restaurants and like this for many, many days and months. But actually, you only feel very fulfilled when you eat homemade food. No, like this we say chapati or something like this. In the same way, you can experience so many things of body, mind, and the world. But you really feel only fulfilled when you drink and yourself, when you eat yourself. This is such a different fulfillment, which gives you almost nothing new. And yet it is so new. It's so different. Like, this is what it means to be fulfilled, that I am deeply fulfilled, somebody says like this, no? You have learned to appreciate yourself. You have learned to live yourself now, no? But you are already. Mila, please remember that these three qualities, Sat, Chit, Anand, are in you. This you who is just resting in itself. All these three qualities are built in you. You don't need to borrow these qualities from anywhere. At the max, if you feel something is lacking, you can invite wonder here. That's all. More than that is mind. More than wonder is mind. Even a simple question, who am I, is mind actually. Even a simple question, who am I, is mind. Only wonder. That is pure light of your own being. And the more you live this simple truth of your own existence, somehow more power you have to understand everything. Whether it is thought, feeling, the word, the relationships, the duality and everything. Somehow you understand them more and more. Actually it is in the same relation. The more I know myself, the more I can know anything else, which is outside of myself, let's say, or in the direction of manifestation. No? It is really like this. Because there is nothing to be understood. It is to be seen as it is. No? When I live as myself, I am able to see things as they are. Because I am not bothered by their movement. When I am not bothered by their movement, I remain a pure seer of them. I don't demand any change in them. No? As long as I am troubled by what I am looking at, how can I be a neutral seer of it? No? Do you see my point? A neutral seer has to be free also from what it is looking at. No? A witness has to be free. Then only you can actually see things as they are. As long as you have anything to do with what you are looking at, your seeing cannot be pure. However hard you try, it can be as neutral as possible, relatively of course. But from here, Mila, where you are, a pure seeing arises towards everything you look at. And you don't find any doors anywhere. Really like this. You can see through the confusions and everything that you had. So true knowing is very different than mind's knowing. No? So I think it's good, no? Enjoy yourself. Thank you. I enjoyed spending time with you like this. Thank you, beloved. Thank you. Seda, you wrote, beloved Raji ji, namaste. May you please speak about the role and necessity of exposing and what is to expose really. Thank you. Actually, there is a value of exposing. Value in the sense that we have sometimes such a state of blind spot that we are not able to see what we even want to see, but somehow not able to. Like you can sense that if I can see this clearly, I will be free, and yet you are not able to. So that time, the value of exposing what you are seeing, expressing what you are seeing in the light of satsang like this is there. So the value is there of exposing like this. What to expose? Don't make a mistake of calculating, of thinking so much, or like this. Just being more authentic, more present, speaking about the present right now, about yourself, but how you are in the present. This is what is going to kind of bring the much purer light, let's say, or more light and kind of going to make your seeing so pure that you can see your mistake. So not so much talking in terms of this and that, but more in terms of immediacy. Like right now, immediately what is going on in me, that is, I feel, the best thing to expose or to share and to look into together if necessary. Because what we really need to look into, we don't need to look into anything in that way, but just speaking, just exposing in the light of satsang, and you are just yourself seeing. As you see, so you become free. Seeing is being free, really. But our seeing doesn't make us free generally. I have heard from many friends that I can see this and I can see that, but I don't get a report from them that I have become free now after seeing, like free forever. No? So that seeing is not correct seeing then. So, like this, Seda, cut off yourself from this impulse or this kind of mode that I have to fix things, and come more and more in this mode of being immediate. That okay, from here let me actually genuinely say that even if I don't see clearly, let me just say maybe that hey, I don't see this clearly. And as you hear yourself speaking, not only the physical speaking and hearing, but also as you speak, you are able to see somehow that like you are able to see your mistake. That's what I mean. So that is the value of exposing in satsang. Only the fundamental. There is no need to expose anything else, unless you want to be a better person, not that you want to wake up. If you want to wake up, there is no need to expose any personal details or anything here. You don't need to expose that how much journey you have done so far and how much is remaining. All of that is your idea of the being that you are. Being can wake up right now by being immediate, present, and maybe speaking a little bit. What do you feel? This is good enough for you? That's all I could say, no? I guess it must be all right for you that, or maybe you are not there anymore. Internet, yeah, she's there. So I hope it is all right for you, no?
Thank you. Yes, it's very beautiful and very clear actually. Maybe, thank you again. Maybe may I share a little bit about this?
Sure.
I see some blind spots within me. I started to see. And also in the beginning of this satsang, you speak about something and it was very related with it. You speak about spiritual concepts. And when it is not there, you can speak directly, or otherwise we need to, yes. And
Yes.
I started to see my spiritual concepts and how I cling to them, and I was not aware actually. I always thought that something outside really block me or something. And now I have a chance to see because there is no another distraction and they are still going on within me. And I see that it's not about outside. It's very much the concepts that I am somehow holding on to. And also I remember Guruji told me this, that so many concepts tied around your being, and at that time I couldn't understand what he's speaking about, but now after 1 year I started to see actually. And yeah, the spiritual concepts that I have, it's not Advaitic types. I don't have so much concept about this. I didn't read, but yeah, like in general, you know, about doing and perceiving life, this kind of concepts so much. And yeah, and they are not a block in my seeing also, but you always say that also in this satsang you talk about this little bit, that we are going, you know, I can be here, but because I hold this concept so much, I always doing something, you know, I'm always like busy. And yeah, and minds are like superstition actually. I feel like this.
Like what?
Superstition.
Superstition.
Yeah.
Yes. It is like this, that we all beings are like this, no? We cannot really pinpoint or blame anybody for it. We all come to life like this, no? Guruji say like this, no? Also Guruji say very beautifully like this, no? But also it is at the individual level that everybody has to take responsibility of suffering and being free from it, no? So we cannot find out the beginning where I got conditioned, but I can start fresh now to be free from it, no? And what is the best thing to do about it is to see that I am conditioned. This is the best thing one can do. Like you have already finished half of your conditioning. Once you see I am conditioned. Mostly we are denying. No, I am not conditioned at all. I can clearly see everything. If you clearly see everything, how can you suffer? It's a very simple thing. If you suffer, you are conditioned. You means the being is conditioned. There is no person anywhere. It is the being living in a conditioned state. But when being can see, actually I am conditioned, like why I behave in a certain way, why I always react in a certain way, you know, like I react to things. Like I am not one with my own responses to life. There is a conflict, like I wanted to say something and I said something else. I wanted to respond in a certain way and I did not fully. If you are one, either you are fully conscious of who you are, or you are mostly unconscious of who you are. And in both cases you are happy, because your actions, your being are one. No? But here, as you are more conscious, not fully, but more conscious than usual, you are in trouble now. Because you can see gaps between yourself and your behaviors and life and experience and everything. So just see clearly that yes, actually I am conditioned. This trying to be not conditioned quickly is not the desire of the being. The being doesn't have that kind of hurry, you know. Being is not in a hurry like this, that, oh my God, I am conditioned, so I have to be quickly unconditioned so that I can become the pure being. That's a misunderstanding coming from not knowing yourself, meaning living as something else, the person. So when you are living as the person, you like to quickly fix your spiritual problems called blind spots, unconsciousness, conditioning and things like this. Whereas the being doesn't need to do any of those things. And as long as you live in this body and mind, a lot of conditioning will anyway continue. It's not about that. You will know that like for example, would you like to behave freshly from the being every second? Generally in the beginning you won't be able to do that, like going to a shopkeeper, asking for the bread and living from your presence absolutely, waiting for the words to come out, and the shopkeeper is looking at you. Yeah, just wait, the words are not coming. After a few minutes, he will say, "Okay, get out and come out when the words come out of you. You know, come in when the words come out of you. You know what I mean? So we cannot do like that really. We will be behaving from conditioning that you go to the store, shopkeeper, hello, bread, money, da da da, come back. Who is doing that? Conditioning, no? The being is not afraid of conditioning. Being sees conditioning as a tool. So this is what I call training. Most of the conditioning is nothing but training, but it carries a misunderstanding about yourself, about who you are also. That has to be somehow, you have to be detached from it and to discover who you are. The user of conditioning is not conditioning and is not conditioned at any point of time. The soul cannot become impure. It can never you can never become impure. Never. It's just impossible. Your nature is purity. The conditioning and you never mix, ever. But when you don't know your purity, you will believe as if you are your conditioning. Living as if you are your conditioning is living as person. It's so simple like this. Living as if you are your personality and tendencies is living as a person, no? There is no person inside you which you have to remove and then find out, okay, now remaining is the self. There is always self. You. Conditioned, not conditioned, attached to the conditioning, or the seer of being attached to the conditioning. Be the seer of to be attached to the conditioning. The one who is free does not become free from conditioning. It just becomes free from this misunderstanding that I am not conditioned. You can see now what is conditioning. Mind is conditioning. No? Like this. Seeing clearly from the simple state of your being, where you are not in a hurry to fix things, but more interested in witnessing them as they are. You become naturally. You find yourself free, not that you become free really. Like, what is the problem in mind, thoughts, activities and all of this? Well, there is no problem if I don't pay attention to it. You know, you will feel like this at some point. Oh, so I'm actually free to be joyful in myself. I'm free to be myself. As soon as you discover that you are free to be yourself, your fight with your conditioning stops completely. Your fight to change anything stops also. Drops by itself actually. You will discover that even this conditioning has been created by whom? By the persons? You will feel, no, not really. It's something totally different and in a way divine. So, life is not personal or impersonal. Life is an opportunity. Outlook from you is personal or impersonal. How you look at it, so you experience. I can experience you as a soul, and you can maybe experience me as a person. Do you see my point? So I will live in the world which is made of souls, many souls. And you may live in the world which is made of many persons. Do you see my point? But who is creating it? You? No. And in my case, I am creating my world, no? In which I live, what I experience. No? I hope it is not. It is in alignment with what you said, no? Say more if you feel.
Yes, I also, when I start to realize that, as you said, when I am the seer and these things starting to being birthed up, it's actually a joy because you start to see what they are. So when you are not a person, there is no problem. You are just seeing, and it's joyful. And yes, I'm happy about this. And actually, I want to ask you something about what you say now about, I don't know, to see person or to see soul. May you please speak about this more?
Yeah. It's also very simple actually. everything comes back to go inside yourself, stay as yourself, discover yourself. Everything comes to this point only. Like we were sharing in our group that when you meet somebody, and you are discovering yourself now as a being, not as a person so much. You are peaceful also by yourself. But as you talk to somebody else, meaning when you talk to a person, then you may feel irritated because they are taking you as a person, Whereas the fact is that when they are taking you as the person, that time actually you start taking yourself as the person, and that is the part which you don't like. It's not about them, it's about you. If you don't take yourself as the person, regardless of how they are taking you, you are free. You will not mind how they behave with you so much. Meaning in the practical life you will do as necessary, but psychologically nothing affects you now. So this is what I want to tell you. It is not that they take you as a person that it troubles you. It is you also take yourself as a person in that moment when you are in front of them. That time you are troubled. Because you come out of your natural state of being and you feel, because of this guy, I came out of my samadhi, like you feel like this. Actually, because of this guy, you came to know that you have still seeds of ego. One day you will thank that guy, that girl, that thank you, because of you I came to know that, there were seeds in me, which anyway would sprout sometime. And while you are still in the mode of being vigilant, it is much easier to see these things. When you have come back to your natural state and you have started believing also that I am free now, absolutely, and if that time that those seeds sprout, you find them so bitter. So it's a very good thing, I just want to share like this. I hope it will help you in some way, or were you talking about something else?
Yes, it's very helpful. And yeah, this morning also, between the state of sleeping and waking up, somehow I feel what you are saying, and now you are just putting into those things words. So I'm so happy about that. And I don't know, I feel like we are going step to step in our conversation, and while you are speaking, I feel like we are just throwing the mind away, and I don't know if I can take my chance to just meet with my being right now. I don't know.
Meaning you are saying that if I don't know if I can take chance to meet my being right now? You are saying like this?
Yeah.
I would say, why not try right now? See, in the right direction of your being, even the failures are so rewarding, and in the wrong direction of trying to change, even the successes are not rewarding at all. So even in this direction you fail, you are only going to gain something nice. You will not lose anything. So why not try?
Why not what you say?
Why not try right now to connect with your being?
Yes.
And see how it feels, how it goes, whether it goes well or not, or is there anything in the way you can talk to me right now? So try right now.
Maybe while I'm with you, And while I'm speaking to you, I'm taking myself as shape, and with that forcing comes. And so when you don't speak, actually, I start to force within, and I start to guide myself within.
Actually, there could be one more reason that you are taking me as someone. That's why you come in a shape when you talk to me. I'm not taking you as someone. So I don't come in shape when I'm talking to you. Why don't you try talk to me like there is nobody else here, just me and you? Then you will not come in shape. Then you will talk, but yet talking is like I am talking, but not like personally I'm talking. Just body mind is being used to talk. But it's not body mind talking.
It's like it's completely a different realm.
Yeah, it is actually. Because as I said, as soon as you are ready to speak to me by putting aside your spiritual concept, I'm fully open here now. Our conversation becomes so simple. It doesn't really matter. It may matter in the recording later on, maybe, but right now it just doesn't matter what we speak and who says what. Because we are exactly talking about the same thing, looking in the same direction, serving the same desire. There is no conflict now. There is no conflict now. No? It's so beautiful, no? Normally, Seda, we feel that it is kind of going to be useful for me to know myself in my personal life because we don't have any other life. Actually, it is not true. So anything you know about yourself is of no use really for the person, for the personal life. However, the personality, the personal training and everything is so useful for the soul that you are. so that you can connect with normal people, you can be like a normal person, because you are formless actually here. And to be able to be in the form and interact with people like this is so amazing. It's such a achievement for me, I feel, to have training still there inside body. What we call conditioning, and we are afraid of that or fighting with that and all. So the whole story of awakening is so upside down. That the person state of the soul is trying to know itself so that it can live better life as a better person. And some souls like to wake up to who they are. Doesn't matter better life or not life. The only better life for them is to live as yourself, myself. No? Now life is going to be better, because life actually can be created by you also, as you like. You are the soul, no? You are the creating force when you express yourself. You are the emptiness, you are the stillness when you don't move. Same, you are the same force which is experienced as emptiness, as just being when you don't move. When you express, you are the creative force. Creative force, I say, not a doer. You are a creative force when you move. You know? Just move as yourself and stay as yourself when you want to. You know? So I feel very nice, Seda. Thank you, beloved. Very happy to talk to you. Thank you. Thank you. Seda was looking so beautiful when she was now also. Very nice. God bless you. Arun Dev, you want to talk? Please talk.
Namaste, Raji.
Namaste.
I'm just wondering how much I am blessed after this sharing related with this conditioning of mind. Like, I need little one clarity. Like, I got 90% clarity in this conversation. Like, when I meet some person, if I don't know some person, either I am working with someone, some other human being, when I meet them with that emptiness or in the shapeless form, that creates vibration and change, right? If that creates any positivity, right? That also creates positivity, right?
Positivity. What do you mean by positivity?
Positivity means like if I speaking from my beingness without any shape or without any agenda, with my pure self, that creates changes, right?
It does, but only when you have settled in yourself fully. Not in the intermediary stage. And mostly we are in the intermediary stages of settling into ourselves. When you have started really resting in yourself, in the sense that there is no way for you to get out of yourself. Even when you want to, like if I ask you, can get out of yourself, and you say, how can I get out of myself? Because I am not two, like space and myself, I am the very space of my being, and I am the very being of this space, You know what I mean? I am the very space of my being, and I am the very being of this space, who lives this space, who lives as the space. I cannot get out of it. Then you will see that impact which you are asking for. No? Before that, it is subject. It depends what kind of being you are meeting, because your intensity of positivity, let's say, or your pure energy is very less. No? Your aura, let's say, is very less. So if the other being is very much interested in that kind of pure neutral energy, then they may be positively affected by it. And some may be negatively affected even by it, no? They may freak out a little bit, like, what kind of person? How still you are, Why don't you behave normally, Some may say even like this, So it depends really. Another thing that I am trying to share today so much is that God has given freedom to every soul to live their life within the same word. Absolute freedom, I say. Meaning, the freedom is not about how much I can change in others. Freedom is how I take the others. Because when I stop taking myself as a person, truly, I'm saying, then actually, effectively, I stop taking anybody else also as a person. Then I meet life, which is life of souls, let's say. No. When I meet life as life of souls, then I don't have this kind of idea to affect anybody positively or like this. Those are more personal ideas. Those are ideas of being a person, no? Or seeing people as persons. No? Rather, I feel blessed actually by meeting anybody. Like, I feel thank you. Hey, you met me, thank you. Because nothing can be added to the soul, nothing can be removed from the soul. But the joy of meeting a soul from a soul is so much. So I cannot give you anything, and you don't need anything anyway. You cannot give me anything, and I don't need anything from you anyway. So that kind of joy of living, this is where the friendliness is felt, what we call love also. No? So I'm not trying to positively affect you right now, all of you. Okay, feel the positivity. Not really. I'm trying to cause awakening. Cause in the sense that, like a catalyst, that in my presence, you may feel compelled to kind of look into something which has been like a blind spot for you inside for a long time. That's the only thing. No? This is how being to being awakening happens, soul to soul. No? Not that a soul can wake up a person. A awakened soul can wake up another soul who is sleeping as a person. No? The soul when sleeps lives like a person. But also the soul which sees persons in the world also is still sleeping. No? Maybe half asleep. So wake up more, maybe, so that you see that no, there are only souls, not persons. I said in my way. I hope it will be useful in some way for you. If not, please tell me what exactly you want to discuss.
Yeah, I got 99% clarity now, and when I
this time you got 99%. So before it was 19, so we did very well. Because this last 9-10% is kind of very crucial. So we reached 9% already, like 1% remaining. I think that 1% you will get when when you kind of live this which is being shared, no? Then you will get that 1% also, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. I was supposed to say this. When I act from that being level, from the emptiness level, I will forget everything, like afraid about future, afraid about my career. Like, there is such a joy I will get. I totally forget everything about fear, anxiety. So beautiful.
Yeah, but life will not let you forget that until you remember yourself fully. And it is a blessing of life, not a curse. That the practical life will not let me forget that I am a person until I fully discover that I am not. Unless I live as a being in my personal life, in the normal activities, no, life will keep bothering me in one way or the other. So I am not free really, Arun, to live freely, forgetting the past and future. There will be a past and future, and it will hit you one day, again and again, no? Like this. Because the past and future is not as such there, it is for you. When you are free, then truly there is no past and future. So past and future is not something being imposed by life on you or something. It's more your attachment to live in that model, which is being highlighted from external events, let's say, some meeting a person, meeting something. like this. It is such a blessing, really, to have a critic in our life. No? Kabir used to say like this, that if you find a critic in your life, a seeker of truth, he's saying to the sadhu, no, hey sadhu, if you find a critic in your life, then bring him home and make a nice sack, serve him nice food and drinks on the nice beach, beach bench or something. That's my addition, sorry for that. Glasses and everything, give him like this. So there's the importance of a critic. And now, does this critic need to be a non-dual teacher or kind of an being who knows all the non-duality? No, anybody will do. Someone who is living as a person absolutely and has nothing to do, like doesn't give a damn to your spiritual journey. This will do. It is good enough to challenge you. Arun, I want to share with you this story which I read recently and I found it so beautiful. There was a monk who decided, a Zen monk who decided to go in the river to meditate because he found the present place to be a bit noisy. So he took the boat and in the middle of the river he stopped rowing and he just he is still in the boat and meditating and feeling very peaceful. Then he kind of started hearing sound of another boat. Oh, so another boat is coming. That's kind of strange. I told everybody that I'm going to meditate and I want to be alone. Then who is coming now? And not only this. After some time, that boat did hit his boat also, and he was now a bit really boiling a little bit inside and ready to be angry now. His eyes are still closed and he is still trying to be peaceful, trying to connect to the inner peace still. Then he opens his eyes and to his surprise, it was an empty boat which just came by. And then he said that I realized that when I feel angry, it is inside me only. All other are just empty boats for me. They are just causing my anger to surface, to be expressed. It's not that they are creating anger in me. It's a very powerful realization for a being who wants to be free. Just wanted to share with you so that kind of it will fit somewhere in what we are talking, no? And you may be able to understand something sometime. So very nice then, thank you.
Thanks so much.
Jonas, you want to talk?
Hello, Raji.
Hello, Jonas. Winter look.
Sorry?
You have a winter look, no?
Yes.
Because here also winter has started a little bit, no?
But you don't look like you are wearing a winter look right now.
No, I have a lot of heat of my soul, no? Actually, all the windows are closed, so it's not so cold here yet, no? Only in the mornings or in the midnight or something like this, it is 15 or 16 in the morning also, actually. But thank you, that's nice. So I think I don't want to distract you in any way, so please tell
me. I just wanted to talk to you again, like we spoke last week, and during this last week I experienced like undetected seeds of ego sprouting, so to speak. And you were when you were talking with Seda, you were saying that at a certain moment they might taste very bitter, and that was actually how it felt. Like it was, they tasted very bitter, and I don't really know what I want to ask of you or anything, but I just felt to connect with you again and to just report and maybe talk with you a bit more.
Yes, yes. I want to kind of share with you something which is mostly kept inside, remains in the conceptual realm, but I'm sure you can connect with it much deeper, as I will share with you. Try to understand the value of truth. Try to understand the meaning of truth. Try to understand the importance of choosing the truth. What it means to choose the truth. What is truth? For the seer that you are, what you are seeing is truth. The seeing is also truth. You being the seer of it, it is also truth. So truth means what is present here, that is truth. And truth makes you free. Because there is bondage. Because there is sense of struggle. Only truth liberates you. This is what it means. That you face the truth. At any cost. Face the truth only inside. There is nothing outside there to be faced or corrected or anything. What is truth? Right where you are. Either it is truth or it is a deception, meaning your wrong seeing. Even if it is your wrong seeing, you would not know it. So, if you don't see it as a wrong seeing, don't worry about it. There is no place for working when you are meeting the truth of this moment. There is no place for working on anything. Except this simple thing which I have shared with you and you tasted. Everything is a form of illusion based in imagination of you or collective imagination of the beings. No? So have enough courage to meet the truth of this moment. Have enough value for it also. This truth is freedom itself. If you want to remain free, stay here. Don't go anywhere else. Even if you drift away from here for millions of times, come back. Because now you know the value of it. If you want to be joyful forever. If you want to only taste bliss forever, then taste truth, nothing else. If you want to be free, truly be free from trying to be free. Face everything as it is. Don't work on anything. Like give up this idea that I will work. I will not work, I will face only. I will not work, I will see only. See means meet only. Not aloof, seeing, very much into it. Because you don't know where is your place, you don't know who you are. Then what is the point in trying to save yourself from anything? Into everything, not trying to go deep, not trying to run away, just not doing anything. Very present, very aware also. Like this, all the dreams will leave you slowly, slowly. This slow is very fast, by the way. because this flow is like a real work happening now. Before that, you were in the dream, doing a seeking or a journey. Here you are meeting the truth of life, which was always here, by the way. It's just that you were dreaming, no? I guess you can connect with what I'm saying, no? Cannot hear you. You have to unmute yourself.
Yes, I can connect with what you're saying, and it feels like you are reminding me of the most essential. So and like stripping away or other ideas about what to do or any kind of strategy or anything, and just reminding me of of the essence.
Yes. Very good. I think you could connect very well with. Thank you, beloved. Very nice to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Raji. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Is there anybody else? No. So right now there is nobody else. Then I think sooner we can end this meeting. No? It's kind of cold. You can maybe give me quickly something, and then hot water will be nice. Seda, you wrote, and I think it is appropriate right now, that may you please share the song of your heart. Yes, I think this is good. Then after that we will end this, no? I really want to share this simple thing, and I don't know how it will reach you, and how much, because there is a sense of knowledge in the mind, no? Where you feel, oh yeah, I understand what you are saying, and that time you have stopped listening to me really. The moment you feel that yeah, I understand what you are saying, you have actually stopped listening to me. So I'm just putting this note before sharing. Fundamentally, there is only one thing, the seer, that you are. And how you experience yourself and what you see depends on how much you are moving and how much you are still. The seer. When the seer is absolutely still, what is seen is so different than what we call duality or even non-duality. You know, what we call duality or even what we call non-duality. When the seer that you are the seer, no? When the seer that you are becomes still, then what you see. There is only one condition to be fulfilled, and there is only one precaution to be taken here. That remain alert, that you are not moving. You, the seer, is not moving. Just remain alert about only one thing, that you, the seer, is not moving. It will be with some vigilance and some effort, and you will experience little, very little stress also. At some point that stress will be gone. That vigilance also will fall away actually by itself, as you will be able to see the value of seeing from your stillness. No? So this is what is waking up. That you start by being a seer and you move. You feel moved from inside. Sometimes you feel it is caused by something from outside of myself, but ultimately you have moved. And slowly, slowly you will become a still seer, more and more. So the clear seeing basically is the view of the still seer. The still seer is able to see everything as it is. No? And why we move and how to not move, all of these things are discussed and valid. But what I am sharing right now is not something that you can understand, but something that you can live right now. More than understanding, you can actually live right this moment, what I am sharing. Just one single thing can take you from very periphery to the core of yourself. No? Just keep note of one thing, that you, the seer, is not moving. No need to understand anything that you see. No need to see it more clearly, more deeply, or from any other angle or perspective. No? At some point, as you remain still in your being, staying and seeing from your stillness, truth is revealed here. A deeper truth is revealed here. Deeper truth is that the truth beyond the seer that you are and the seen that is seen by you or experienced by you. There is a deeper truth beyond both, which is revealed here. Naturally, without effort. The only effort is to stay as the still seer. And you will not get any of your spiritual fantasies fulfilled here. You will not become a better person, you will not get a better behavior or anything like this here. All of that is a dream in which you live, the seer that you are. In this approach, you will only wake up. You will not become something, you will not grow in any way. Growth and everything is seen. It is in the field of view. The moment a separate seer is born in life, its liberation will happen now only by this seer separating itself from everything it sees, clearly and absolutely. So this separate seer is called the ego, the individual self. The only one way that it can actually gain liberation is by clearly separating everything that it sees from itself, the seer. Not that it has to think, it has to only see. There is no place for thinking, there is no place for any other doing, there is no place for feeling, there is no place for any states, there is no place for any spiritual growth or anything here. It's only one single path of seeing. You will not gain freedom from anything here. You will gain liberation. Liberation is different than freedom actually. Liberation is of the being that you are, which has got deluded that I am affected by what I experience or what I see. You are not. This I am, I exist, is nothing but the pure seer, but living as a being who can experience. You will go beyond this I am if you stay as the seer. That's your true state, the seer. I am is your incarnation. You get into the state of I am for the desire, because of the desire to experience life. No? Because I am is the primal basic form which can experience every other form now. Without I am, no experience, only seeing. If you want to know the full truth, be the seer and be still. And remain still. Remain still. The more still you are, the less stress you will feel also in the seeing. We all feel stress in the seeing. The stress is because you are not still. The more still you become, the less stress you will feel. When you are absolutely still, there is no stress at all. There is, on the contrary, such a peace which you have never experienced. So that's all I wanted to share with you, and all with you, Seda, and all. Devdas, you wrote, deep gratitude for today's satsang, beloved. Love you so much. Thank you, beloved. Love you. Dagmar, you wrote, so much joy drinking your guidance as something you wrote, and then love. Thank you for your guidance again and again. Just me and you without anything and anybody. Yeah. Very nice, no? Pankaj, you wrote, thank you, Rajiji, especially for the song of the heart. Very nice, nice. Iten, you wrote, I can enjoy so much the present looking, just stepping with you, trusting fully and relaxing in the natural seeing, not needing to understand. I can feel you see with me. I can see in you. Thank you so much. Through you I see and am recognized as the seer. Iten, the less you define, the better for you. Defining is not seeing. If we are talking about this guidance which I shared just now as the song of the heart, if you don't define at all, the best. Only see as the still seer. I appreciate your gratitude, but also I feel like telling you this. Rahul, you wrote thank you, love pranam. Thank you, Rahul. Sanjay, you are also writing thank you, Raji, love you. Thank you. Prashant, you wrote thank you so much, Raji, for satsang. Thank you, Prashant. Stephanie, you wrote so speechless, beloved. Thank you. No feeling, only gratitude. Yeah, thank you. Lorena, you wrote deep gratitude for the satsang today. Love you. Thank you so much. Thank you, beloved. Very good. I will still like to continue for 2 minutes, just having my hot water and being with you, like this. Okay, then this is good. Jogan, you also wrote, love you, beloved, join us. Thank you. Thank you, Jogan. Okay, then thank you, everyone, for joining me today. Love you, Seda. Seda wrote me, like this. So, very nice. Thank you, beloveds. I may see you again sometime.